But this time I'm here to talk about pain. If you have pain in your knee or your back like I do, then you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. If Medicare is your primary insurance, then you could qualify for a back or knee brace at little or no charge. I have an old injury from my football playing days, and anything that can help take that pain away and make it more manageable, that has my attention. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for back, ankle, knee, or shoulder pain, please call the Health Alert Hotline at 800-428-1570. That's 800-428-1570. Agents are standing by 24/7, so go ahead and call now. 800-428-1570.
Welcome, folks, to Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez. I'm going to be joined with Florida Rick today, one of my co-hosts. And I think we're going to have Oklahoma Brian coming in on segment 3. But we are on Sports Byline USA on iHeartRadio. You can find us on Facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk, at Twitter. Our website, which our website's still semi-under construction, but we're here. I got Florida Rick with me today, and we're going to recap yesterday. Rick, good job, brother. 3-1.
Yeah, we'll take it. 3-1 last night, 2-1 the night before. So it's been a pretty good week so far.
Very good, very good. And then, okay, so yesterday, you loved the UCLA, which was a double play because that match with Brian. And then we had Tulsa. We went with Tulsa, even though Brian was semi-opposing it with Cincinnati. We got off of that. We went with you. Also, we had, what was the other one we had? We
NBA, we had San Antonio.
Yes.
Plus 1.5, which they finally overcame and won in double overtime by 7. Crazy game. I don't know if you stayed up and watched that game, but what an insane game that was.
Yeah, but you know that one matched Chip too. You matched Chip on that, and we were up the whole way. How it went into overtime was kind of a bad beat.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The way and even double overtime. San Antonio was winning the entire overtime and the entire double overtime. And, it was one of those games you're like, are they just going to hold on or, they're going to blow it? But no, Marcus Aldridge wouldn't miss. What a crazy – and San Antonio, I think, was 16 of 17 for three-pointers. And they finally missed a few in double overtime. But, wow, they were 16 of 7. I've never seen anything like it before. They wouldn't miss a three-pointer. Yeah,
it was crazy. And, then we had Miami, Boston. But, Chip really likes the show. We like him as a guest because he's got a lot of good stuff. But we're going to have him on every Thursday with us, so that ought to help us. It's going to get entertaining. He's got great stuff. I
really enjoyed listening to him yesterday. I never met him or even heard of him for that matter. But I was watching the show yesterday, and he has a lot of insight. Like you said, the stories are. He could spend an entire week. Doing shows with just his stories,
Yeah, you certainly can. Well, Rick, hang on to that when we come back, brother. Fifth Street Sports, we'll be right back. 3 minutes. Got to take a real small time out here.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the tax helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down, 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Welcome back, folks, to Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez, joined by my co-host, Florida Rick. We're on Sports Byline USA, the American Forces Network, iHeartRadio, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. We might even be in a lot of men's rooms, everything. But anyways, we are here. And then, Rick, buddy, I know we're going to get into a lot of good stuff with you on this NFL and everything, but we got to talk about this American, what is it, Alliance American Football?
AAF, yeah, I guess that's what it stands for. And I honestly, I didn't realize it was starting a month from now. In 4 weeks from now, it's going to be starting, and I had no idea it was starting this soon. I had heard very little about this until just now.
Yeah, and you know the good thing about this, I know this is right in your and Brian's wheelhouse, because when all these real weird, funky kind of new leagues and everything start up, that's where we get our most value, because there's no data, and you can catch, sleeping situations at sports books. Good for us.
And sharps will be really in tune with these kind of leagues. These are the XSPL, going back, 16, 17 years. You remember that? That was like free money. The second half unders, just about second half under. The second it goes under, and then it opened at 20, it would close at like 16 and a half, and it still would win. It was insane. And then, they'll find the sharp sides of these games so quick. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so here for the folks listening and watching, here's the deal on it. All right, it's kickoff is February the 9th. There's 10 weeks. We have 4 teams, in the playoffs there's going to be four teams, and it's essentially a 2-week playoff. All right, there's 4 in the East, 4 in the West, and here's some of the rules, okay? We got a 30-second play clock. After a touchdown, every team must go for 2. The rosters are 50 players. Here's the good stuff that I like, even if I have to attend one of these things. No television timeouts, and there's no kickoffs. Each team starts with the ball on the 25-yard line, and tickets to watch these games are $50 a piece. I mean, you got a list there too, Rick. What do you think of some of these coaches and quarterbacks that are going to be leading these squads?
Yeah, just looking at the names, these are all former NFL / major college coaches. And some of these, names out of the past that we really haven't heard for a while, but it's interesting because, some of them are still on TV and they've obviously led great teams in the past. So it'll be fun to watch, these guys coming back. And then I'm looking at some of the quarterbacks right now, and just looking through some of the names, like Aaron Murray, Matt Sims, Blake Sims, Scott Tolzien, Chris Hackenberg, Zach Mettenberger. Garrett Gilbert. This is so funny. Stephen Morris, Trevor Knight. Mr. Carrie. What's her name? The singer. Why can't I think of her name? The famous. Remember that she came on a game day at one time and was saying that she was in love with Trevor Knight. She was Katy Perry. That's like
Katy Perry. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it was Trevor Knight was the guy that she was in love with from just looking at his picture. Then we got Austin Allen, B.J. Daniels. I mean, I'm just looking at these names for the first time. This is really cool. Marquise Williams, Mike Bercovici. So this is gonna be a fun league. I'm actually excited now that you told me. I didn't realize it's starting in 4 weeks from today.
Yeah, here's what I think is interesting. Okay, in the West we have 4 teams: Arizona, Salt Lake, San Antonio, and San Diego. But what could really be exciting is the coach for San Diego is Mike Martz. He was the the greatest show on turf, wasn't he, with the Rams?
Yeah. Well, he was the offensive coordinator, and then he took over when Dick Vermeil retired. So, and then he just continued it. So I'm sure he's going to try to lead that type of offense. Of course, years later, it kind of failed. But you have to have the athletes and the right personnel for it to work successfully. And it'll be interesting to see. It looks like I'm looking at the quarterbacks right now, and Mike Bercovici, Philip Nelson, Alex Ross. So Bercovici, he was a star at Arizona State. He was in the NFL. He was a third. I remember seeing him in the preseason. I can't remember which team he played for, but he'll obviously be their starting quarterback. So, he probably will be run and gun, run and shoot type team, fun and gun type team. So, I really wonder what the totals for these games will be. I'm kind of interested to know. Are they going to be
real weird? Look, how about this? So you got Mike Martz coaching San Diego. Now over there in the East, you're going to have at Memphis Mike Singletary. Remember, he was the middle linebacker for the Bears. And then for Orlando, that's in the East, you got Steve Spurrier. Those are some names we got. And then Brad Childress for Atlanta and Tim Lewis for Birmingham. But here's the thing is, okay, so now with every team's got to go for 2. So obviously for middles or kind of advantage situations, 7's going to be not so great of a number because there's going to be a lot of 6 and 8s, right?
Yeah. Every number is going to be in play. Even 9, 12. Every one of these numbers is going to be in play when every team has to go
exactly,
for 2.
Exactly. But what do you think this could be to the total? Okay, here's some of the rules, all right? A 30-second play clock. Got to go for 2. You just get the ball on the 25-yard line. So that might hurt a little bit with no kickoff returns or fumbles, And must go for 2. 10. Wow, it's going to be interesting, buddy. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, only a look at the roster, only 50 players. So, every position will basically have one backup, and that'll be it.
Right.
Yeah, the 30-second play clock's going to definitely, play into the overhand. So the total has to be a little bit higher just because of that right there.
Yeah, and gotta go for 2. That's going to be interesting. But I gotta think, I gotta think the first few weeks. I don't even know if they're going to have exhibition games. I gotta think the first few weeks, if there's no exhibition games and nobody knows what the heck's going to go on or how fast they're going to score, they got to be taking real small limits on these, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, I would say max bet. Even the biggest sports books, will be a nickel and probably more closer to 250 and possibly even $100 in the beginning. But I would say probably 250 would be the max bet you'll see at like a Chris or a Pinnacle, 5 dimes. I don't think they'd even go nickels to start, and they surely won't let you do parlays with them.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Now, in your opinion, okay, here's February 9th, the week after Super Bowl. In your opinion, do you think that this has a shot, or did we need this much more football?
In the past, we've always had the USFL and the XFL, and they've never worked. This has the slightest chance because they're starting it right after the football season ends. So people who are just starving for football can go right into this new league rather than the old leagues where they'd start not until I think it was April or May. So at that point, you're not even in the football frame of mind. You're just thinking baseball, basketball playoffs, things like that. And I think the USFL even competed and played the same time of the year as the NFL the last couple of years, and that was pretty much its downfall. But this one actually, because of that, I think has a slight chance to succeed and maybe keep people's football hunger going. And it's only going to last for 10 weeks to 2 months basically, and it'll be done. So I think, especially people in those cities, where they're going to have teams, I think are going to be, very interested in this. I really am intrigued to see what the crowd sizes are going to be like, what kind of attendance they're going to get.
Yeah, and then you look at some of these stadiums right now, where they're going to be playing, like Sun Devil Stadium for Arizona. Let me see what we got here. You got Sun Devil Stadium. You got Liberty Bowl for the Memphis. It's going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. I mean, and I like the fact that there's no television timeouts, and it's only $50 to see these games. So maybe we got a shot to have a little bit of entertainment here.
Yeah, think of it. No TV timeouts. Other than halftime, that's going to be the only time where there are going to be commercials during the game. Is that right?
Yeah,
it means the game's going to be really fast. I would think maybe 2 hours or so.
Yeah, but that's cool. I mean, it's kind of like soccer, where but with action. You know what I mean? It's going to be like let's go,
exactly.
let's go, right? I mean, I think it's going to be super cool. Well, so that's the AAF league that we just talked about. We're going to really get into it during the weeks. But what we're going to do here on the next segment, Rick, is let's go through these NFL playoffs, because if you've noticed throughout the week, we've had several guests, including ourselves, and we seem to be opposing on a few of these sides. So when we come back, folks, we got to take a small break. Fifth Street Sports, be right back.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices, and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit, and 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low Cost Airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help.
800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com. That's MYEVOZ.com to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Hey, folks, we're back. Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA on iHeart, American Forces Network. Make sure you stay tuned and listen to us and watch us. We got a great show. I got Florida Rick. I'm Frank Perez. We're going to be going through, Rick, we got the NFL playoffs. And as you know, this week we've had several guests, including ourselves. And it seems like I've been taking my notes. And Waz likes the Patriots, and Brian loves the Chargers. What about that game? What are we going to come up with on that game?
Okay, well, yeah, we can start with that game. That was a game when I was here on Monday, I talked about that one for a while, and I see both sides here. I came in on Monday and I said how much I really like the Chargers myself, and if I had to, I would actually pick the Chargers to win the game. I still feel the same way. Maybe I've leaned a little bit away from that angle, but I see how people do like the Patriots as a small favorite here at home in a divisional game, having 2 weeks to prepare. They didn't know who their opponent was going to be, so they couldn't sit there and prepare for 2 weeks for San Diego, but they knew it was going to be, they knew they had the time off, they had time to rest. San Diego's been having travel to the East Coast, back to the West Coast, back to the East Coast now. The game's being played on Sunday. It's going to be sunny, but temperatures are going to be in the 20s. Not really conducive to San Diego, but San Diego's played in all environments this year and over the course of the last several years with Phillip Rivers a quarterback. And as much as you'd think, and I keep calling them San Diego, I think we both are, and we never stop. But
Right.
Anyway, the Chargers. So that Phillip Rivers has been accustomed to playing all different types of weathers, and while we want to think that they're not going to show up or they're going to play badly in one of these cold weather environments, he typically plays pretty well and surprises you. So I still like the Chargers here. I'm not convinced they're going to win, but I still like them in a close game to at least cover the 4. I know the Patriots had that week off to rest, but Gronk isn't the same Gronk. They lost Josh Gordon. Edelman's still there. Hogan rarely ever gets the ball anymore. James White that guy comes out in the playoffs and is a beast, and they're going to need him to be that way again this year. But the Patriots just don't have the same weapons. They don't have the same offense as they did in previous years. Brady, you can see he's still a quality quarterback, but he's not the same Tom Brady that he was over the last 15 years. He's definitely on the downside of his career at age 41, which you'd expect. But I do expect a low-scoring game. I think it's already moved a little bit, but I would still lean towards the under at 47 and a half. I'm not necessarily low, but maybe like 23-20 or 21-17, somewhere in that realm. Neither team's going to want to speed the game up, so it should be unless someone falls down early and they have no choice but to run no huddle. I would lean Chargers here, and I would lean under, and that's actually the Sunday afternoon 1 o'clock game, or 1 o'clock Eastern. So we have 2 games on Saturday that come up first, and I was going to go over those.
Sure. Let's go for it.
Since those are Saturday, but the first game is tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 Eastern. It's the Indianapolis at KC game, and I don't know if you've been following this weather in the area over the next today, tomorrow, and so forth. But they're having snow all day today, all day tomorrow. It's going to be in like the 20s snow. I have to think that even though Indianapolis is a dome team and KC is the home team here, normally you'd think, well, that favors the home team. But in this situation, I kind of think that favors Indianapolis. Indianapolis is more of the running team. They both throw a lot, as we know, but Indianapolis has that really tough offensive line that when they run the ball, they kind of pound it for 5-6 yards to carry with Marlon Mack and company. And I think the weather could possibly be a factor in this game for Kansas City. Of course, they still don't have Kareem Hunt, and I surely like under here. So the total is still 57, which is crazy to me. I don't know how it hasn't dropped at this point. At least 2 points, maybe 3 points. I think tomorrow it will. Once people start seeing, the pregame and see the fields covered in snow, I think you're going to see a major drop. So I would definitely get on that 57 while you can still get it, because I think by tonight it'll already be probably dropping to 56, and tomorrow, like I said, maybe 54. But I do like the Colts here to cover the 5 or 5.5 too. I think this is going to be a close it's going to turn out to be a smash mouth game. Everyone's thinking these teams, it's going to be high flying aerial assault, nonstop 70-yard touchdown passes. But I don't think that's going to. The weather's not conducive to that type of game. And while you probably still will see a couple of plays like that, I think the game's can be played differently than both teams kind of want. But it still plays into Indianapolis's hands with their really tough defense, their strong offensive line, and Marlon Mack's running game. And Andrew Luck, I think, is experienced enough that he's played in all these environments, and I'm not sure Patrick Mahomes has yet.
Okay, so yeah, I mean I love all of that. Really like the under would seem like such a beautiful player. I'm going to talk to my partner Chris. We're going to take a stand on the under, but let's all right. So there's the Indy game. So far we're leaning both. Well, not leaning. You really like Indy, and you're leaning San Diego. Now comes the next game. Real interesting game. We got Dallas going to the Rams at 7.49.5.
Yeah, this one, I've been going back and forth all week on this one, and I'm still kind of going back and forth. But at the moment, like the other games, I would lean Dallas and I'd lean under. Dallas is a really tough defense. They're going to try to turn this game into a slow-paced, running game. They're going to try to bleed clock. They know if it gets into a high-scoring, back and forth aerial assault, they're probably not going to come out on top. So they know if they want to win this game, they have to do it by running the ball, playing their great D. Dallas hasn't necessarily been a great road team, but they still have a defense that can play, against anyone. And Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott have been great the last few weeks. So I think the Rams just haven't proved to me yet that they're ready for prime time. They're ready for the playoffs.
Right.
They have a great team. They're really fun to watch. I love watching every one of their games. But as we saw last year, is Jared Goff going to be prime time playoff ready? And I'm not sure the answer is yes. I think this is a really tough defense to have to go against his first game in the playoffs this year. I do think they're going to squeak by with a win, but I do believe that Dallas is going to keep this game close the whole way. And I kind of see like a Rams, 24-21, maybe 23-17 type win. And I would lean again, Cowboys and under, but it wouldn't surprise me for the Cowboys to win this one outright, even on the road.
Well, if you remember, Waz and Brian came up with the conclusion that one of the ways to maybe play this total is, because remember, the Cowboys are defense and running. One of the ways to maybe play this total is in like on the interactive, because if Dallas, and it makes a lot of sense. If Dallas gets behind by 10 or 14, well, they're going to abandon that grind game, and they're going to abandon it, and then this game's going to be completely wide open. But if the score's tight, and one of these 3-3, 7-3s, they're grinding it out, under is definitely the way. But it's do you remember when the Cowboys had like Aikman? They were like he was a rhythm quarterback. They were a rhythm team. If Dallas stays in their rhythm, especially early on, you'll see it the first 2 or 3 drives and can stop the Rams. This game is a definite under. But if it's not, then it's a definite over.
Yeah, it will be kind of interesting. Like you said, maybe in live betting, if you can, if you see the game starting off slow, maybe you'll get a couple points to the worse of the opening number, but kind of figure the unders the right side, and same with the over. If you see someone get ahead early by 2 touchdowns, then okay, this game's probably going to be a shootout. But
it's kind of like when you and Brian talk about the Steelers. Whenever you see like the Steelers down by 10 or 14 at the half, you better just bet the over in the second half.
Yeah, Brian's been saying that ever since Roethlisberger's been in at quarterback, and it's a great formula. If you ever see the Steelers get down at any point by double digits, just all right. It's time to start hitting the over, and it comes in at a really high rate.
So keep an eye on that, folks. We're watching this game. We got recommendations on how to do that from Brian, Rick, and Waz. We're going to keep an eye on the in game on this Dallas game. If they get behind, Dallas gets behind by 2 scores of any 10 or 14. Let's go with the over. Now comes the fourth game, Rick. Interesting game here. You got the Red Hot Eagles against pretty consistent Saints, but a little bit of floundering towards the end. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, well, the Saints have had, they didn't play their starters the last week, so they've had now 3 weeks off for this game to prepare them. Of course, they didn't know who their opponent was going to be until last Sunday. So, but the fact is that they've had all this rest. They've had plenty of time in the in the study room and to watch the tapes and so forth. And when I came on here Monday, I actually said that I like the Eagles here. But the more I've been researching this, the more I've been thinking about this game. I think I'm switching a little bit on this one to the Saints. The Eagles had such a tough emotional win Sunday, which they got out of there by a millimeter or two to get out of that Chicago game with a win. Now they got to travel the next week to what most people believe is the best team in the NFL in a controlled environment, in a dome where it's going to be 80,000 screaming fans. The noise is going to be unbearable, and they had one time this year where they went over there and they lost 48-7. That was with Wentz at quarterback. Not saying Foles is better than Wentz, but this is a game that I'm starting to think that I think the Philly magic kind of runs out here, and I think that the Saints take care of business and win this game and cover. And I don't want to say just like obliterate them, but I think they get us out of this game, win 14, 17 points, and I want to see a close game. I want to see the Philly stay in this game. This is the last game of the weekend. They usually save the last game as like the marquee game. Yeah. And while name-wise it is,
Rick,
right now I think the Saints. Okay.
Hold those thoughts, buddy. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, you can bet on Florida. Rick's going to give out a lot of his NBA, college. We're going to talk about stuff you can bet some money on and get ahead for the weekend. Right back, folks.
Warm up your cold winter days with hot deals during Aaron's Winter Warm-Up. Yes, hot deals on living rooms, TVs, and even washers and dryers with no credit needed and free delivery and setup. Plus, this hot offer from January 11th to the 15th. Just $1 gets you started leasing to own, and then no payments until February 15th. Start with just $1 at participating stores or Aaron's.com and enjoy Aaron's Winter Warm-Up now while the deals are still hot. Transaction advertised as a rental purchase agreement. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's HomeAdvisor. HomeAdvisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, and even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that HomeAdvisor is completely free to use.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Welcome back, folks. Fifth Street Sports. Here's the money segment of the show. Talk you can bet on. We got Florida Rick. I'm Frank Perez. We're on Sports Byline USA, the American Forces Network. And, man, we're really doing good on iHeart, guys. Watch us and listen to us on iHeart. Hey, Rick, is Oklahoma Brian in the house?
I think he was trying to come on, but I'm not sure. I think he kept getting disconnected. So I'm not sure if he's going to make it on or not. I think he might be trying to call in, but we'll I guess we'll see in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, because I saw our schedule, and I know that he was going to jump in the way you jump in on usually on the third segments, but I guess we'll have to wait for him. Hopefully he comes in. But anyway, so Rick, so let's get a little talk. So we went through the NFL.
I was going to finish up on that
Sure.
Saints game just
perfect.
before I had to go to commercial. But what I was going to say in that Saints game, it reminds me a lot of that Eagles Vikings game last year, where the Vikings had that crazy emotional win last play of the game on the kind of the Hail Mary to Stephon Diggs, where he, the guy just missed the tackle and he ran about 70 yards for a touchdown, and they had this incredible high, and they're going to Philadelphia with the backup quarterback, and they had one more win, they get to the Super Bowl at home, and they get to Philadelphia, and I think what was it, like 34-0 or so? It was over as soon as it started, and I'm kind of starting to sense that could be the case in this Philadelphia New Orleans game, that they used almost everything they had to get out of Chicago with the W last week, and this week is just going to be too much for them, and I just don't see the Saints not winning the game, and the more I think about it, I think they're going to cover the number, and I don't think it's going to be 34-0, but I do think that they're going to cover and maybe get out of there, like I said, a 14, 17-point win, maybe like 31-14 or 34-20, something like that.
Yeah, and then, so let's say there really isn't, because, the Dallas game's a 7, so we really aren't like really, really strong on the Wong this weekend, even though I just redid the money line parlay on Dallas, and I mean on the Rams and the Saints, and it only comes back 0.66. If you parlay the two money lines versus the teaser. But I think a nice open teaser to be able to maybe go into the further round of the playoffs in the Super Bowl would not be bad, using the Saints in an open 6-pointer. What do you think of that one?
I think it's a great teaser. I think if it's the only teaser that's 100% a play this weekend. The Dallas game, yeah, you can make a case for it, but you really want it to be 7.5. But the Saints, yeah, if you've open teasers, it's probably a good one to stick in a few open teasers if you have that option.
I agree, and but wasn't it interesting how when Waz was here from Better IQ, he had an interesting point, and boy, it kind of threw me for a loop how he said that the teasers are not as valuable to 6 points, using them in the playoffs as they are during the regular season, and he made a pretty good case, but. Boy, I thought 6 points was stronger in the playoffs, wouldn't you think?
You would think the playoff lines are more, finite lines. They're closer lines than regular season games. But I have noticed in the playoffs, especially this particular round, in the course of last 20, 30 years that I can remember, it seems like those home teams do have a big advantage. Especially since they've had the week off and had the extra week to prepare, while the other team, whoever they're playing, had to usually get out of their previous week's game with a really tough fought win. And you kind of see why, for this specific particular week, that it is that it may not be as valuable as it would be for the regular season. But I think this year also may be a little bit different than previous years too. So. Yeah. I mean, we'll see for sure over the next couple of days, but I kind of think all dogs are live here with the exception of possibly Philadelphia. And I do want to see Philadelphia play a tough game. I'm looking so forward to that game, but I could almost see like the writing on the wall as soon as that game starts to be 14-0 before you blink. And if that's the case, they're just never going to get back into it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, now tomorrow, I looked at tomorrow's college basketball card, not the added games or the extra games. There's 105 games. I mean, it's a short card today, so thank goodness. I mean, we don't have to do all that handicapping for tomorrow. But on our segment of Talk You Can Bet On, okay, our next one is here. So now we got a pretty decent NBA card today, a real short NCAA. Let's go through it, Rick. Let's see how we can make the folks some money here.
All right. Well, there were 3 NBA games that I particularly liked tonight, and a college game as well. So I'll start off in NBA, and unfortunately, this game's moved a little bit, but it's game 546. Washington Wizards they were getting 2 at home earlier, even 2.5. The line's now dropped to 1.5 at home against Milwaukee. And this is one of these situations where the public is going to be real big on Milwaukee here. They see Milwaukee, they see the 29-11 record, and they think, wow, Milwaukee's only a 1.5 point favorite at Washington. It seems like an easy play. Well, Washington's actually been playing really well of late, and they've won. How many home games? I believe they've won 3 or 5. I think 5 of the last 6 home games.
Right.
And Milwaukee strong road. This is the ultimate pro shows game where all the public, all the squares are going to be on Milwaukee, and all the sharps are on Washington. I think the public is 75-80% on Milwaukee. The line's actually moved down a full point. So that's like the ultimate reverse line movement. You're never going to find anything better than that. So I think this game is actually the strongest play of the night. It's taking Washington at home plus 1.5. You can throw in money line plus 105 or maybe even money. I think both these plays are that play, the spread as well as the money line are both monster plays here. And I think you would agree with me on that game too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I would tend to like if you have a 1.5. Let's say you got an 0.5 shop or a little bit of reduced. I wouldn't mind taking the +2 minus 115 there. You know what I mean? Because 2 is such a big number in basketball. So that's our strongest play. 546 Washington at home, getting anywhere from 1.5 to 2 to $1.10, $1.15. Okay, what's our next strongest play?
Okay, so the next play that I like tonight is game 556 Minnesota -5 at home over Dallas. This is an intriguing line here. Minnesota, they had a lot of problems. They weren't playing well. They, I believe, had a team meeting, got everything back square, and everyone now is enjoying playing with their teammates. They've won 3 in a row, 14-6 at home. Dallas is 3-18 away from home, and this line is very low. I think it's a lot of the public loves betting Dallas because they're in love with Luka Doncic, and while he's a fun player to watch, and maybe he'll be on the league for the next 15 years, he's still 19 years old, and I don't think he's as good as people make him out to be yet. I know he will be, but I think right now Minnesota's playing very, very good basketball, and I think this line's way too low. I think this line should be closer to 7.5, and I'm big on Minnesota here. We're not huge favorite bettors, but when the opportunity comes, you gotta take it when it comes, and I think this is one of those times.
Right. So Minnesota -5. Sweet. We're documenting this, buddy. I've got you down here. Go ahead. Next one.
Okay. Next play, another favorite. As I just was talking about, we don't play that many favorites, but here's another one. It's game 558, Utah -8 at home against the Lakers. This is a team that me and Brian, especially Brian's been talking about for a while. Utah has had the hardest schedule in the NBA for the first half of the year. This is now officially the second half of the year. I think this is the 43rd game. So Utah, they were projected to probably be the number 3 seed in the West. At this moment, they're not even in the playoffs, but they're about half game out. So this is when we believe Utah's really going to start firing in all cylinders. They've won 4 of their last 6 games. The only 2 they've lost have been real tough road games at Milwaukee and at Toronto. They played tough in those games, but they just fell short. And now I think is when Utah is really going to start a big winning streak, or maybe like 8 of 10 or 10 of 12. And I think this Laker game tonight, the line's still low. It's kind of, the Lakers had that nice win against Detroit the other night, but Detroit's one of the worst teams in the NBA at the moment. Kyle Kuzma's back, so he put up over 40 points. And but of course they're still missing LeBron. And just going to Utah is such a tough place to play, especially when you don't have like your team leader playing with a bunch of young guys. And I don't see this game being close at all. So I'm going to take 558 Utah -8 at home as the third NBA play.
So I love it. So far, you got 3 home teams. You got Washington at home getting a 1.5 or 2 against Milwaukee. You got Utah laying 8, and we have Minnesota laying 5. Now it's a small card in the colleges, but did you scope any value out there?
I found one game that I like. It has moved about half a point, but I'll still lean this way, and that's it's top game. Game's 8:01, Indiana at Maryland, +5. It's a 7 o'clock Eastern start. It's on FS1. I think FS1 this year is going to do Friday night doubleheaders in the Big Ten. They're doing Purdue at Wisconsin later on. I actually like Purdue early on. That game started at 4.5 and went down to 2.5. It's back up to 3 now, but it's moved too much in these conference games. You don't want to take games that have already moved a 1.5 or 2. So I'm going to stay away from that one. But I do like game 8:01, Indiana +5 at Maryland. I think you're getting the better team here. I believe this line's only 5 because of Indiana's last performance at Michigan. But as we know, Michigan's a top 5 team. It's a really tough road game. Indiana made they came back late, but of course they got themselves down too much early on to ever mount a serious comeback. But they actually almost covered the spread. I think they only fell like point short or 1.5 short. So now they're, I think they're the better team going into Maryland, getting 5. Maryland's a tough place to play. No doubt that Maryland's a solid team in college basketball and the Big Ten. But I think this game is going to be one of those nip and tuck games, played down to the wire, anyone's ball game. I don't know who wins, but I do believe that someone wins this game, and it's probably less than 5 points. So the fact you're getting 5 in a game with these two teams, I think goes a long way. But you have to get the 5. If it moves any lower, I would pass.
Okay, that's great. How about this? Since this is talk you can bet on while the show's been going on, one of my top sources from Costa Rica, this guy's as solid as you can get, just sent me a very, very nice MMA play for this weekend. And that is it's listed under number 2317. TE is the first name. The second name is Edwards. He's fighting Dennis Bermudez. The line's moved 20 cents, but I think there's still value. He opened up Pick'em. Now he's up to $1.20, $1.25. But it's TE Edwards in the MMA against Dennis Bermudez. Dennis Bermudez laying $1.20, $1.25. I think you can go up to about $1.30. After that, maybe starting to lose too much equity. But TE Edwards would be the MMA play this weekend from a very, very, excuse me, it's 119. So this one will go on next Saturday's card. But take it now, because I believe the way this guy bets, this is up to $1.25 right now. I think this closes at $1.70, $1.75. So if I were you, I'd get a few dollars down on Edwards. And let me see. So we got 3 NBA, 1 college basketball. I love that dog in Indiana at Maryland. I'm so glad you endorsed it.
I knew you would. Yeah, I knew you. That definitely seems like a frank play right there. So it's if you're gonna, it's an early start. I mean, it starts at 7 Eastern. So if you're gonna get on it, try to get on it soon. I do think if it moves anymore, it'll only go down. So it would go to 4.5. So the 5's are really key. 5's the most key number. So you can get that. Make sure you get the 5.
Rick, we'll be right back, folks. Let's hang in there. Back in 3 minutes. We've got to take a small break. Fifth Street Sports.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500 $100. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Guys, it's Fifth Street Sports on a beautiful Friday afternoon in Las Vegas. This is going to be the wrap-up part of our show. We just went through the Talk You Can Bet On segment. That was number 3. We gave out... Rick, let's. Why don't you recap exactly the 4 plays, maybe the 5 plays if you include my MMA for next, my UFC for next Saturday.
Okay, all right, I will do that. And we first start out in college basketball. Top game 801, Indiana +5 at Maryland. And then over in the NBA, we took game best bet of the night, game 546, Washington, currently at the moment +1.5 at home against Milwaukee. And follow that up with game 556, Minnesota -5 at home against Dallas. And close it out with game 558, Utah at home -8 over the Lakers. So those are our 4 plays in basketball, and you can recap your MMA play.
Right, that's T.E. Edwards over Dennis Bermudez, laying about roughly $1.25 for next Saturday. Get this one because it'll move 40 or 50 cents. Hey, Rick, and let's give them a nice little refresher. We finally have concluded we're going to have a small lean towards the Chargers +4. A pretty decent size bet we like on Indy getting 5.5.
And under, especially in that game.
And under. And Dallas, we're going to maybe, if anything, lean towards Dallas or play a little interactive over, depending on if Dallas gets down by 2 scores. And then did we conclude on the Saints? Definitely use an open 6-point teaser on the Saints.
If you have the ability, yep.
Yeah, if you have the ability, though, remember you're going to use a 6-point teaser on it. You're only going to have 3 other games to be able to lock it up in. So I would just go a 2-teamer on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're only going to have the two conference championship games next week and/or the Super Bowl to be able. Oh gosh, there. You know what it is. There's our producer saying we gotta wrap it up for the weekend. Rick, thanks a lot, buddy. Great show, folks. We appreciate you. Fifth Street Sports. We're here Monday through Friday. Next Thursday, Chip Chirimbus again on 1:00 Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Be safe.
USA Radio